What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Success Spectrum Podcast. I'm your host, Kadeem, McLean, and I've got a question for you. What if the only thing standing between where you are, the life you live now, and the life you want to live is what you believe or don't believe about yourself? See, it's my understanding that mindset is the beginning and the ending of success. Without a proper mindset, you are not going to be successful. Everything you say you want in life, everything we say we want to acquire, the life we want to obtain, the family we want, the whole 9 yards, it's not going to happen without the right mindset. There's, again, something called the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. A fixed mindset says everything that I have right now, everything that I've been born with, that's the best I will ever be in a particular area. I cannot get better at math. I cannot get better at a sport because I was born this way. Versus the growth mindset that says I may not like math, but if I study and practice enough, I can get better at math or a certain sport. If I practice and study enough, then I can get better at a certain sport. A growth mindset says it doesn't matter what cards I was dealt. It depends on how I play my hand. A fixed mindset says these are the only cards I have. I just got to lay them on the table. That's it. And so you are going to stay stuck, stagnant, and not achieve the life you want with the fixed mindset, because woe is me is that mindset. And then with the growth mindset, however, you can achieve the life you want to live. You can raise the bar. You can raise your standard. You can continue to go after progress. And some people say, and I kind of, let's say, subscribe to it, is progress is happiness. But if you are stuck in the mindset of you have a fixed mindset, unfortunately, nobody can help you. You got to fix that for yourself. But with the growth mindset, we can work on that. We can work on whatever it is you want to work on, because you understand with practice, with studying, we can get better. And all of this, I want to bring it back to, if you have a certain level of skill, if you are great at something, cool. Or if you're pretty good at something, but you don't know how to sell, let's say, or market, or whatever the case might be. With a fixed mindset, you don't believe you can learn those skills. You might not even think you can put people in position to help you with the marketing or with the sales part of it. But with a growth mindset, yeah, I can learn these things, and I can find somebody who wants to work with me to put these things in position. So again, without the proper mindset, because if we're just negative, woe is me, and we're hemming and hawing on everything, then we're not going to achieve and acquire the life we want to acquire. So if you really are stuck in that mindset of, again, a fixed mindset, or hemming and hawing and not sure necessarily if it's for you and the whole 9 yards, and indecisive even, because successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly. Unsuccessful people make decisions slowly and change them quickly. So decision making is a factor here. And one of the books that come to mind is Who Moved My Cheese? So if you've never read that book before and you realize you're on this side of the spectrum where you are hemming and hawing and you struggle with making decisions, let's say, or you're not sure what route to take, or again, you maybe are of a fixed mindset, Who Moved My Cheese is a great book. There's a lot of books out there, things you can listen to and so on, but Who Moved My Cheese is a book I'd recommend in that case. Now, with the proper positive mindset, you understand that you're going to need to take steps, and each step you take, you might need to iterate, because what you initially saw is a different picture than what you see now after you've taken a few steps. You've gotten closer, you can see things differently, you see things from a different angle. So that's where iteration comes from. And that's where, again, we can now make a little bit of a shift. We're still going in the right direction, but you realize that step you had planned out from before, oh wait, no, I cannot take that step because there's a better step to take, because I can now see a better picture, a clearer picture, because I started to move. So as much as mindset is, let's say, the beginning and ending of success, you will not be successful without a proper mindset. At the same time, again, there's that gap. And that gap is action. We've got to take action. We need to take action, because you can have everything laid out, a perfect plan, but without the action, it means nothing. Without taking steps, it means nothing. And let me tell you where this is coming from. This is coming from conversations really, that I've had over the years, and some recently. And one person in particular, we have conversations regularly, and I'm trying to make sure I don't tell you anything about them to make sure they're anonymous. That person looks at me a certain way, and I look at that person a certain way, in terms of having all the skills and everything kind of set up the way they needed to be set up to easily make $250,000 within the year, to easily make $250,000. However, I've seen it so many times, and I've experienced it so many times, where we might have things set up. And so I asked the person, what's holding us back? And that person kind of told me in their own words what's holding them back. But ultimately it came down to mindset and belief in themselves. And so that's where this is coming from today, because I feel there's a lot of us out there who battle with that, including myself at times, where we have a level of skill, we have a level of knowledge, we have a level of studying that we've done. We're prepared, but we don't think that we have enough, let's say, or we know enough to be able to help certain people or to do whatever it is we're trying to do and make that progress we want to make towards that lifestyle. So we just end up sitting still and holding ourselves back. As a subscriber to this podcast or a listener to this podcast, I want to give you $30. How am I going to do that? Enter Rakuten. Rakuten is a platform where you can find deals of the week. And on here, it doesn't matter if you're looking for clothes, doesn't matter if you're looking for electronics, services, food, you can get cash back. $30 cash back, rather 30%, 20%, 4%. You can get Dyson, Yeti. I know a lot of us need to file our taxes. Those of us who are late, you can use Intuit TurboTax to file your taxes. Ancestry. There are deals upon deals on here. And here's how it's going to work. I refer you. You click the link in the description. You spend $30 on this platform. Guess what? We both get $30 back. Sounds like a win-win deal, doesn't it? Go ahead and click that link in the description and get yourself your $30. But again, I encourage everybody to take action, because once you take action, now it's out there. Now you can see if people really come. And if they don't, let's say, come in droves, then we can iterate. We can change, we can shift, we can add things, change things to make it work. Because if it's not out there, we don't know if people will like it. Give yourself a chance, give yourself a shot. The only way to do that is to put it out there. But even when it is out there, people might not necessarily be coming, but it might be because of the marketing that's lacking. Not your skill set, but let's say the marketing. It might be you're not speaking to the right audience. You might be speaking to, let's say, single mothers when you really need to be speaking to fathers, single fathers maybe. And so again, the whole point to all of this is to say the mindset is vital and important. It's really the foundation for your success. Without the mindset, you're not going to achieve it. But with the right mindset of understanding that this is a continual journey. I've kind of heard something said like this before, so I paraphrase it and use it in my own way. But entrepreneurship, it is the greatest personal development program on the planet with the greatest potential compensation attached to it. Now, I mentioned potential, so that's something we should probably unpack a little bit there, because potential, I think it was Carl Phillips who I first heard this, so shout out to Carl. Do not become a permanent potential. Do not become a permanent potential. Do not live in, oh, I could do that if, or I could do that if I wanted, or I have so much potential. People used to tell me I have potential all the time. And eventually I started to take that as if someone's dissing me. It's something negative. It's not necessarily something great, because you're constantly telling me I have potential over the course of a year, 3 years, 5 years. That means I never really realized potential. And I'm going to stay stuck in potential. I don't care about having potential. I want to make progress. But the only way to do that, again, is to have the right mindset, number one, and number two is to take action. Because I could sit and say, yeah, I've got potential, I could do that, or whatever the case is. But if I'm not actually taking action, then I'm just going to be a permanent potential. And that, to me, personally for me, and likely for you, you might feel the same way, is me doing myself, my loved ones, the people I'm called to help, a disservice. Because I'm stuck in potential instead of actually making this thing, the visions God gave me, the dreams God gave me, a reality, and helping the people He calls me to help. Shame on me if I decide to get stuck in potential. So again, I call you into action. I call you to check your mindset, fix your mindset if you need to, and then take action, because you have the skills. You've been studying this thing for a while. You've been looking into this thing, reading it, understanding it, hearing people speak about it, whatever it might be, for a long time. You don't need any more information. You need the right mindset, and you need to take action. You need to grow your belief, and you need to take action. Sometimes we sit there and we think to ourselves, I need to study more, I need to get more information, I need to whatever excuses we want to give ourselves. But at the end of the day, your breakthrough is not waiting on more information. It's waiting on your belief in yourself, your self-belief. And how do we really grow the belief for ourselves, our self-belief? Keep the promises you make to yourself, and really look back on the successes that you have, and even ask the people in your close circle. Ask them for testimonials, right? Maybe whatever you do, whatever service as an entrepreneur that you're creating, or product or solution, just in conversations with you, some of the closest people to you have benefited and you don't even realize it. And they may not tell you because you never ask. And so again, you can practice with them your service and then ask them for a testimonial. Or you can just ask them, what do you think about my ability to X, Y, and Z? And they'll tell you. And you can go practice with others, let's say, offer them your service or solution for free, but just tell them in return what you need is a testimonial. You put it out there, they tell you, now you get an unbiased opinion about your service and you get that testimonial. That will show you and prove to you how gifted, how skilled, how great you are at that specific thing. And don't do it just once, do it with 5, 10, 20 people, let's say, so that you can really understand, listen, you know what you're doing. You really understand this thing. For myself, I was studying something for a little while. How can I put this? I don't know if I'm allowed to say it like this. I was studying something for a while and it was a certificate to be an extreme execution coach with Thomas & Thomas Consulting, right? And so what I was doing was studying this information and I would do some practice reps, we call it. And as I was doing reps, okay, people were giving me feedback and then I got some testimonials. And then a little bit afterwards, I fell off and I didn't really do any reps, let's call it. But more recently, I talked over some people's assessment with them and it was reinforcement for myself to say, oh, hold on a second. I forgot how much I know this thing because I've been studying this for years and I've been on regular calls weekly, like 3 times a week, really. And I talk about this thing, again, I've been talking about it for years. So yes, I know this information. I had to remind myself how skilled I am in the thing, how much I know it, how much I've studied, how much I can use this tool to help others. And so I'll leave a link down below if that's something you're interested in doing, having that one-on-one session with me. A little bit more details will be down below in the description, but it's a tool that definitely helps people. It helps you to understand who you are, how you are, and why you are that way, and what shifts and adjustments you need to make to help you get to the desired life that you have. Listen, if you've been a struggling entrepreneur, you feel like you're putting in so much effort constantly, daily, so much time, effort, and energy, but you feel like you're stretched thin. You feel like you're overworked, overwhelmed, and underpaid. I have a campaign running right now, and it is called the Apex System. This is something that is going to help to change your life as an entrepreneur because we're going through the system, and I'm going to teach you all about it. A stands for automation. P stands for prioritize. E for elevate. And X for excel. Each of these things, this 4-step system is going to help you to change your life. And instead of being overworked, overwhelmed, and underpaid, you're going to live a life that you really want to live. The reason you started this business, that lifestyle you've been aiming for, we're going to help you to accomplish that by now doing the tasks that you love to do, be overpaid, and have the time to spend with your family, your loved ones, or to have that freedom that you've been seeking. Freedom of time, freedom of location, and of course, freedom of finances. But that only works if you go ahead and you register. apexaffiliation.com/system. Go there, register so that you can understand how this 4-step system really will help you to elevate. apexaffiliation.com/system. I'll see you there. And so having certain conversations with people, putting in those reps helps me again to remind myself, wait a second, I know what I'm doing. And I'm saying all of this for you to realize for yourself. As soon as you start doing it more, you do those free calls with people to get those testimonials, you start putting in more reps in whatever service or product that you have, you will realize for yourself, wait a second, I do know this thing. I'm kind of cold at this. I get it. I understand this thing. I've studied it. I put in the work. What am I waiting on? The only reason for a lot of you out there that you are not where you want to be is because of the lack of belief that you have in yourself. And so I encourage you, I beg you, put in the effort, get those testimonials, build up that belief, and do what is required to get to where you want to go. Mindset and then action. That's what we're talking about here. Shift your mindset. If you're a fixed mindset, you need to do the work to uproot whatever beliefs you have and plant new ones of growth seeds, growth mindset, and then take the action required to get you to where you want to be. All of this was for me to tell you that the most expensive thing you can do is to doubt yourself. So don't doubt yourself. Put in the effort to prove to yourself, not to anybody else, that you are skilled, you are gifted. Because I'm telling you, you're dope. You have the skill. It's just a matter of you understanding that, because everybody else around you, I'm talking to a specific few people here, everybody else around you knows how dope you are. You need to see it for yourself. Once you see it for yourself, no matter how much others say they believe in you, no matter how much others say you're dope, you got a skill, you got a gift, until you see it for yourself, you're not making any progress. So again, I encourage you, I plead with you this week, whenever you're hearing this episode, put in the effort to shift that mindset by getting those testimonials, giving the service or product out for free, getting testimonials of places you've been to before, and building that self-belief. And if you are a believer of any kind, go back into whatever spiritual book you have, the Quran, the Bible, whatever it might be for you, and really sit there and think to yourself as you read this information, royal priesthood, chosen generation, understand how dope you really are. Even you being here, again, it's kind of cliche saying it nowadays, but even you being here, the odds of you being here, you were chosen for a reason. There's something you have that only you can give to the world. So shift that belief, take those actions. Don't worry so much about the outcome. Shift your belief, have belief that the right outcomes will come, and put in the action required to get there. All right. That's it for me, everybody. Kadeem here, and I'll see you in the next one.